Hi, landlords. Do you have tenants who are in receipt of housing benefit or universal credit or are in any way dependent on the benefit system? Well, if you have, I'm sure it won't have escaped your attention that the government have recently had an attack and a squeeze on the benefit system in an attempt to control the welfare bill, which I guess we all understand. But as landlords, this is something we need to be aware of, be preparing for and planning for. So what have they been doing? Well, in general, I think we all know there's a real squeeze and tightening on benefit rates and eligibility criteria. Again, intended to manage the national budget. I absolutely get that, but it's something at MRP we're absolutely intending to prepare for and now. Specifically, and not many people clocked this, but in last autumn's budget, LHA or local housing allowance was frozen. So that's the rate that as landlords we can claim, like the bedroom rate in each area, that was actually frozen. Now, as we all know, cost of living, CPI, and our cost of landlords have not been frozen, but the rate for tenants that they can claim for the housing has. So that was actually done last autumn. Since then, we've had numerous other changes. In universal credit, there was the APA change, which is the alternative payment arrangement. This was an arrangement that was in place for when a tenant falls into arrears. Landlords can apply for an alternative payment arrangement, and that was a mechanism to help to claw back those arrears. It was always over a long period of time, but it did mean that you were at least getting something against the arrears balance. Now, that mechanism is still there, but what they've done is reduce it by 2/5. So the 2/5 reduction, the 2/5 that have been taken away from the landlord will actually now be paid back to your tenant. So in theory, the money isn't lost. It's not coming to you as landlord. It would go back to your tenant. Now, it does mean your tenant has 2/5 more that they in theory could pay you against their arrears, but the burden is for you to collect it as landlord. So the money's still there, it's still in the system, it's with the tenant, but we would have to collect it. So not quite the same as what was happening before when the full allowance was coming to landlord direct to clear those arrears. And the idea of the APA system was that it would protect tenancies and prevent evictions. So it's a real shame that they've chosen to take that safety net away, or at least to weaken it somewhat. And again, it just places more burden upon landlords to collect those arrears. So in summary, absolutely, we still work with benefit tenants, but, and this is the learning I think from this, certainly at MRP, we are very mindful that when we are selecting tenants, we need to be extremely careful and mindful of the tenant we select. Tenant references become ever more important. And you may have seen some of my other videos about the rent guarantee products that we're about to implement, because I think given all these risks, plus renters' rights bill, frankly, rent guarantee is something that we'll be recommending to a lot of our landlords, because I think now the extra safety net that rent guarantee insurance gives is well worth the extra spend. It is a little bit more expensive for us as landlords, but certainly I am taking it out on my own private residential properties because I think that financial security it gives is very important. But of course, you're only eligible for it if your tenants are appropriately referenced in the right way at the right time at the beginning of the tenancy. So if you're seeking tenants at the moment, I would just take a step back, engage with an agent. Hopefully it will be MRP and my team, and get that referencing process right. Make sure you're getting the right tenants, the right affordability and the right protections in place in terms of rent guarantee and bond replacement products that are available in the market now. So I hope that's helpful. There will be a button around the video for our tenancy health check. So if there's anything I've mentioned that concerns you or you don't feel that you're prepared and well placed to deal with this, feel free to book a call. I'd be very happy to chat through what we could do to help, and I'd hopefully speak to you soon. Thanks a lot now.